Hey guys, welcome. Today we're going to go over the Year 10 revision for end of year 2019 worksheet that was given in class. I've attached a copy of the worksheet down in the description below, and feel free to download that and flick through with us, but I'm going to be working through them as we go. Okay, so number one. It says evaluate the following, so 3.5 to the power of 6, and that's basically just 3.5 times 3.5 6 times. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And I'm assuming you're allowed a calculator here. If I can just get my calculator. Okay, and just calculate this to the power of 6, and that will be 1838.27, and that's to 2 decimal places. Number 2. Oh, sorry, that's so that's still question 1. That's I, and this is I. That's number 2. Okay, so number 2 is 8 plus 2.6 divided by 4.3 plus 2.1. So this is basically testing your BEDMAS acronym. So BEDMAS stands for brackets, expansion, division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So whenever you've got like a question that has addition, multiplication, or any one of these combinations, then you can add. You got to follow the BEDMAS. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get this to move out the way. You can follow the BEDMAS acronym to work it out. So division is first. Oh, in this case you won't even need it. So you can just go simplify it. So 8 plus 2.6 is 10.6 plus 25.3, which equals, on the calculator, 10.6 divided by 25.3, 0.4189723332, which equals 0.42 to 2 decimal places. Okay, moving on to the next one. I'll just take this out because you don't really need BEDMAS for this. So let's remove this. Okay. And number 3 is 2.7 times 10 to the power of 3 squared. Now remember, when you've got it in brackets, when you're multiplying two things together, you two powers together, you add them together, so it will be 2.7 times 10 to the power of 5. And that's just asking you to put 5 zeros on it then, so it would go from here. Let me just select the right tool. So that point would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you'd have like 4 zeros behind it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because the decimal point shifts from here and goes here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and basically the answer is 270,000. Yep. Number 4. Number 4. What do we have? So 154. So this is asking you a number multiplied by itself 3 times equals 154, right? So on your calculator, you can enter the shift key, and you can enter the symbol that has this in it, right? And then just figure it out. So, and then just work it out. So it would be, you press that symbol and you type in 154, and the answer is 5.36. That's to 2 decimal places again. So these are the keys you need to press on your calculator. Question 2. 2-1. So you got write 3/8 as a decimal. So you just do 3 divided by 8 on your calculator, and it'll give you a decimal, which is 0.375. Number 2. You've got write 2.2/5 as a percentage. So you just go 2 divided by 5 times 100 times 100, and that's 40%. All right. And the next one, number 3, is write 0.35 as a fraction in its simplest form. So 0.35 as a fraction. So in its I guess in its complex form, it would be 35 divided by 100, right? And when it's asking you to write it in its simplest form, you've got to make it to the lowest number possible. For example, let's go with your 5 times table. So 35 divided by 5 is 7, right? So 7, and then 100 divided by 5 is 100 divided by 5 is 20. And it doesn't go any lower than that. Let me just double check with the calculator. Yep, 7/20. That's as low as it goes. So that would be the answer. And 4. You've got write 72% as a decimal. So 72% as a decimal would be 0.72. Simple. Question 3. Question 3A. What is 15% of 45? Well, you just go 0. So that equals 0.15 times 45, which equals 6.75. 3b. Tim scored 24 out of 30 on a test. So 24 out of 30 on a test. What is this as a percentage? So you just pretty much go 24 divided by 30 times it by 100. 24 divided by 30 times 100, 80%. 3C. It says increase 160 by 20%. So there's two ways you can do this, right? So you can figure out 20% of $1.60, right? And add on top of 160, or you can go, so for example, you could go 0.2 times $1.60, which equals 0.32 or 32 cents, and then you go 0.32 plus $1.60, which equals $1.92, right? Or a simpler or a more like a faster way would be just going 1.2 times $1.60, and that would give you $1.90. Oh, sorry, 92. Okay. D. Decrease 60 by 12%. So decrease 60 by 12%. So again, you go 0.12, or so you can go you can do two methods. So 0.12 times 60, which equals 7.2, and then you go 60 minus 7.2, 52.8, or you can go a simpler method or faster method is 100 minus 12, and that's 88. And then you just go 0.88 times 60. And that should give you the same answer, 52.8. A, B, C, D, E. Decrease. Oh no, sorry. 20% of a number is 30. What is the number? So 20% of x equals 30, right? So 0.2 x equals 30. So x equals 30 divided by 0.2, x equals 150. So it says the price of a Big Mac increased from $2.95 in 1995 to $5.20 now. What is the percentage increase? Percentage increase, let me think about this for a sec. 5.2, 2.95 divided by 5.2. Yeah, so basically you go 2.95 95 divided by 5.2 and times it by 100, and that equals 56.7% increase. Question 4. Write these numbers from smallest to biggest. So they are 0.0034, 8 over 250, 0.0304, 34%, and 34 divided by 1,000. Well, let's simplify our job and write them all as a decimal. So as a decimal, they would be 0.0034, and then using the calculator we can convert 8 over 250 into a decimal by going 8 divided by 250, and you get 0.032, 0.0304, and then remember 34% is 34 divided by 100, which is 0.34, and you've got 34 divided by 1,000, 0.034, right? So the biggest one would be this one, so that's number 1. The second biggest would be this one, and then this one, followed by this one, and finally that's the smallest number. So the question asks you to rearrange these numbers from the smallest to biggest. So if we rearrange them, they would be, so number 1 is 34%, number 2 is 34 over 1,000, number 3 is 8 over 8 over 250, number 4 is 0.0304, and number 5 0.0034. That was A, and going to B. Round 812 to the nearest 10. Okay, nearest 10. Remember, it's not 10th, but 10. So 812, the nearest 10 would be, you'll be rounding it down to 810. Alright? Because if it was 813, then you'd round it up to 800. You round it down. So 5 and higher, so 815 and upwards, you round it 820, 814 and downwards, you'd round it down to 810, right? So if it was 811, 812, 813, 814, they would all be rounded down to 810. But if it was like 815, 816, 817, so on and so forth, and then they would be rounded up to 820. Okay? The next one is C. And we've got round 456,899 to the nearest 1,000. So we're talking about this number here, right? So this is quite high, you know. We're talking about 800, 900. So this would be 450, and then we round up, so 457,000. D. Round 7.2389 to the nearest tenth. So remember, they've used tenth here. So you've got your tenth. Tenth here. You got your hundredth, thousandth, tens of thousandth, and then so the nearest tenth. So we'll be looking at whether this number here, it gets rounded up or down. So we look at this number next to it, which is 3, so it gets rounded down to, it stays the same basically to 2. So it'll be 7.2000, which is the same as 0.2. Question 5. It says, write 2.45 million in standard form. Now let me just check. I've forgotten what standard form means. But let me just check what standard form is, and I'll get back to you. Okay. So it says, okay, so 2.45 million. So it would be 2.45 times 1 million basically. So it would be 2,450,000. Right? So writing this in standard form would equal 2.45 times 10 to the power of 6, right? Because you got 6 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, 1, 2, 3, 4. Counting this wrong. So you got 3 here and 3 there, so 6, right? And then when we multiplied it, so the decimal point shifted to the right 6 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and pretty much that double checks. That can confirm to us that it's kind of like a double check method to make sure we have the answer right. So that's the answer here. What's the next one? That was A. B asks, write 1.27 times 10 to the negative 6 in ordinary form. Right, so I'm guessing that's like decimals. So we'd have to go 6, and we'd have to go 6, shift the decimal point 6 times to the left. So that would be 0.0005. 5 times 127. Okay. Question 6. Question 6A. Yeah. Okay. Question 6A says Trinity wanted to buy a pair of the following items. So a pair of jeans for $49.95. A t-shirt for $19.95 and a bracelet for $21.95. So the first question 8 asks us, Trinity only has $90 and realizes she doesn't have enough money to buy all 3 items. How much more money does she need to buy all 3 items? Okay, so I'm assuming already that these numbers are more than 90. So let's just quickly do the math. So in your calculators. So let's remove this. 49.95 plus 19.95 plus 21.95 equals $91.85. So that's the total. So you just subtract 91.85 from 90, and that will give you 185. So that's how much more money she needs. A salesperson tells Trinity there is a 15% off sale on all clothing the next day. How much money will she save if she waits till the next day to make her purchases? So basically, you can do it again 2 ways. You can go 0.15 times. Let's say there's only one way to do it. 0.15 times 91.85 and 13.7775. So she will save $13.78 if she waits for the sale the next day. Question 7. McDonald's sells thick shakes in 3 sizes. So you got small, medium, and large. A small thick contains 300 milliliters. A medium thick contains 1.5 more, and more than the small, and a large thick shake contains 500 mils, right? 500 mils. Question A is asking, how much does the medium thick shake contain? So the medium thick shake has 1.5 more than the small shake, right? So again, if we calculate the percentages, so if you go 1/5 on your calculator times 300, or you could do it as 20% or 1.2% times 300, you would get the same answer. So 1/5 times 300, which is 60, and then you have to go, let's just move this out the way, 300 plus 60, which equals 360 milliliters. And or doing it this way, let's do it. 1.2 times 300 is 360. Right? B. What percentage more than the small thick shake is the large thick shake? So 300 divided by 500 times 100, right? Which equals 300 divided by 500 times 100. 60% more. And that's question 7 done. Question 8. Blake was making a fence using palings. He used 8 posts, he used 8 posts. And each post cost $8.60. Let me just read this properly. So it says Blake was making a fence using palings. He used 8 posts costing $8.60 each. 100 meter of wood was needed, costing $2.40 per meter. Oh, no, sorry, I was right. So 8 posts, and each post costs $8.60 each. And he needs 100 meters of wood, and it costs $2.34 per meter. 234 palings were needed and came in bundles of 10. So this is like going back to that rounding. Costing $12. So each bundle of 10 costs $12.50 per bundle. Asking, calculate the total cost of the materials. So 234 palings were used. So 234, we would need to buy 240, right? Blake making a fence using, he used 8 posts, costing was needed 20. Okay, no. So you got three different things we're dealing with here. So we've got posts, we've got wood and palings, right? So it's basically asking you to add the cost of these together. So let's start with the posts. So 8 posts, so you go 8 times $8.60 plus 100 times 2.34 plus, now this is the bit of a tricky one, because you got to buy these palings and bundles of 10, so you have to buy 240 of them, so you can use 234. So they come in bundles of 10, so you kind of have to do 234 divided by 10, which is 20. So you need 23.4, but you can't have 0.4 of a bundle of a paling, so you need 24 bundles times $12.50. So just enter it into a calculator, and don't forget the brackets. 8 times 860 plus, plus 100 times 2.34 plus 24 times 1250, and equals 602.80 cents. So $602.80 is how much it would cost, the total cost of materials. B, a friend offers to get him the material at cost price. If the markup was 25%, find the cost price. So that's just 0.8, right? Because you got 100 subtracted by 20% or 20. Oh, sorry, it says 25%. My bad. So you go 100 minus 25, which equals 75, and then you go 0.75 times the total cost, which is 602.80, which equals $452.1. So that's the cost price of all the materials. Okay, next one, question 9. Okay, so this square, which is drawn like this, A, B, C, D is split up into 4 triangles by 2 lines drawn from one corner. From one corner to the midpoint of 2 of the opposite sides. What fraction is each triangle? What fraction is each triangle? Interesting. The square is split up into 4 triangles by drawing 2 lines. Let me draw this properly. So you've got a square. And, and from this point, they go into the middle. Of each of these lines. Yeah, A, B, C, D. What fraction is each triangle? Well, oh, right, okay, so technically that's one triangle, and A is one triangle, B is one triangle, C is one triangle, because it's a right angle triangle, right? And D is two triangles, right? So if we've got 5 pieces in total, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A would be 1 out of 5, B would be 1 out of 5, C would be 1 out of 5, and D would be 2 out of 5. I'm not too sure about this one, but I think that's the answer. Might have to double check with that one though. Okay, question 10. Cheyenne currently gets $5 a week, $5 per week, as pocket money from his parents. His parents promised, so question A, his parents promised a 10% increase in pocket money. What would his pocket money be with a 10% increase? So 1.1 times 5. It will be $5.50. So he'll get a 50-cent increase. B. His dad suggests another option for Cheyenne to choose from. He could instead opt for a 20-cent increase every 3 weeks for a year, for 1 year. Which option should Shay choose? Okay. So let's have a look at it like this. So if he starts off at 5, so the original option was $5.50, right? $5.50 per week. Okay. So in 1 year, which has 52 weeks, he would make a total of $286, right? So that's option 1. Okay. Option 2 is saying that he would start off with what is option 2? A 20% increase every 3 weeks for a year. So 0. Sorry. 20-cent increase. So 1.2 times. Oh no, sorry. So 520 times 3. There was a formula for this. I forgot. And then 540 times 3, right? Because every 3 weeks it's increasing. Plus $5.60 times 3. Plus, so how many times do we have to do this? We would have to do 52 divided by 3, which equals 17.3 times. Okay, so plus 580 times 3 plus $6 times 3. You can automatically see that option 2 is the better one, but let's keep going and figure out why. 6.6 $20 times 3 plus $6. 40 times 3 plus $6.60. And just keep going up by increasing the price by 20 cents. So a 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 15. And we said, what, 17? So, so 15, 2 more, and then a bit. So 15, so 8, 20 times 3 plus 8, 40 times 3. So, this would be 3, so it would be 3, so you've got a total of how many weeks along here? You've got 9 weeks, and you've got how many weeks down here, and excluding this one, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 3 is 15. So you've got 15 times 9 is 135. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's count. Sorry, I'm doing it wrong. But let's count how many weeks we have so far. So 1, 3, 6, 9. Oh, we can just do our 3 times tables. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 times 3. We have 45 weeks so far, and then plus 3 from these two. So 45 plus 6 is 51, so we only need 1 more week for it to be 52 weeks. So the last week he gets $8, 60 times 1. Okay, so now we enter this into a calculator, this part here, all of these into a calculator, and we figure out how much money he's making exactly. Don't forget the brackets when you're entering it into the calculator. So 5.2 times 3 plus 5.4 times 3 plus 5.6 times 3 plus 5.8 times 3 plus 6 times 3 plus 6.2 times 3 plus 6.4. Whoops. Don't forget the brackets, these brackets. 6.4 times 3 plus 6.6 times 3 plus 6.8 times 3 plus 7 times 3 plus 7.2 times 3 plus 7.4 times 3 7.4 times 3 plus 7.6 times 3 plus 7.8. Oh, so when we get to the end of 7.6 times 3, which is around here, we can't enter any more into the calculator, so all we can do is just press enter and then keep adding the rest of them onto it. So equals and then plus, and then on the calculator it will be answer plus, and then you go 7.8 times 3 plus 8 times 3 plus 8.2 times 3 plus 8.4 times 3 plus 8.6, and that gives us a total of $345.60. So in option 1 he would be making $286 versus option 2 he would be making $345.60 a year. So clearly he should choose option 2. Okay, moving on to 11. A patient has a disease. She has 2 to the power of 6 body cells affected in one day. Each day the number of cells affected doubles. Okay. The disease becomes serious when 2 to the power of 12 body cells are affected. On which day does the disease become serious? Okay. So it's just, so you're just adding an exponent, 2 exponents. So 2 to the power of 6, right? And then plus 2 is 1 day plus, so it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So in a matter of 3 days, 1, 2, and 3 days, the disease is serious. Right? Because 2 to the power of 6 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 2 to the power of 12. So 3 days, the disease becomes serious. Okay, moving on to the algebra side. Algebra. Question 1a. What value of x would make each statement true? So you've got 48 minus 3x equals 36. So it's basically asking you to calculate x. So you got negative 3x equals 36 minus 48. So if we, with negative 3x equals negative 12, x equals negative 12 divided by negative 3, which equals 4. Okay, b, oops. 4 x plus 3 equals 32. So 4x plus 12 equals 32. 4x equals 32 minus 12. 4x equals 20. X equals 20 divided by 4. X equals 5. Question 2. Simplify the following expressions. So a times a times a equals a cubed. B (9r minus r) equals 8r. C 5d plus 3d minus d equals, so you got 5 plus 3 is 8 minus 1 is 7d. D3p times negative 6q, which equals 6 times 3 is 18, negative 18pq. M to the power of 8 divided by m to the power of 2 exponents. So you've got to subtract 2 from 8. So you got m to the power of 6. Whenever there's an exponent, you've got to subtract it. If x plus 3x squared divided by x okay. X plus 3x squared divided by x. So, stuck on this one.